So, I'm pissed off. First and foremost, I'd like to issue a collective fuck you to anybody out there who is complaining about the BP oil spill. Let's just be clear. Any American complaining, bitching, or otherwise making a big deal out of this British petroleum oil spill in the Gulf is a 100% blue-in-the-face hypocrite. To anybody out there who feels this way, I'd like to ask you a quick question. How many of you know a goddamn thing about Chevron Texaco's actions in the Ecuadorian Amazon? Crickets? A better question. To anybody out there who does know about this situation, how many of you heard about it on the mainstream American news? I thought so. This is the Ecuadorian Amazon case was the largest environmental lawsuit ever brought up in human history. Basically, Chevron Texaco fucked over the entire ecosystem in the Ecuadorian Amazon. Thousands of people lost everything, their homes, their livelihoods, and just the images coming out of the Amazon were so horrific at the time. People, skin falling from their bones, people with all types of shit, cancers, lung problems, every fucking thing under the sun from Chevron Texaco and the Ecuadorian oil company Petroecuador's actions, who inherited that broken ass system in Ecuador. And it was just incredible. Not just the environmental catastrophe, but the silence that was met by the average American citizen. To put it bluntly, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody cared. Now, for us to say that this environmental catastrophe in the Gulf is something that we should be concerned about is unbelievable. Because, again, I don't know how many times I have to say it. Corporations don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about anything that has to do with you, your well-being, your life, period. British Petroleum would not piss on you if you were on fire. They don't care about you. This is just the nature of the beast that we have created. Americans like to stand and defend capitalism as our way of life, our thing. But again, it's the product of propaganda. Capitalism is not a good thing. It's not something that helps people. The reason that we defend it is because we've been tricked into thinking that the only alternative is Soviet-style, China-style, communism and socialism. That's bullshit. Capitalism has exploited more people, killed more people, caused the disenfranchisement of more people than any system in human history. The whole point of communism was to answer the evils or the perceived evils of capitalism. Capitalism, at the time communism and Marxism and socialism came into mainstream thought, was viewed to be the fundamental cause of imperialism, slavery, all of it. So that's why communism came about. It was to make the voice of the common person heard. We have a system in the United States where capitalism has fucked us over, or has been for the past 4 decades. 1970, wages stopped rising. It cut the balls off the American dream. American production, on the other hand, continued to rise. The difference between the wages and the profits, or the difference and the productivity, was profits. And what did our corporations do, all in the spirit of capitalism, with those gargantuan profits? Did they give it back to us? Fuck no. Did they give it back to us in the form of wages? Nope. Did they give it back to their workers to ensure a better life, more company loyalty, all that bullshit? Fuck no. They gave themselves, by they I mean the executive boards of our corporations, massive bonuses, ungodly sums of money, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars each in annual salaries, while the little guys continued to get fucked over. work twice as hard for the same amount of money. This is capitalism at its worst. The British petroleum oil spill is capitalism at its worst. The aftermath, more accurately, is capitalism at its worst. You would think that the CEO of fucking BP would be in prison. Fuck that. Would be under the lethal injection gurney. If I go outside and I shoot a fucking dog, I'm going to jail. But if you're the executive of BP and your oversight, your greed for missing inspections, not adhering to safety standards, fucks up a whole ecosystem, destroys the lives of thousands of people in an entire area. You're allowed to walk free? What type of bullshit is that? You explain that to me. Is that the system that we all want to live under? This is capitalism to us? The alternative, the better way to live, is not capitalism, and it's not socialism, and it's not communism. It's democracy. That's what we need. We need democracy in a company like BP. We need democracy in every Western corporation, every company, because it's only through democracy. The concept of those making the decisions should be affected by the outcomes of those decisions are the only way to prevent environmental catastrophes like what we're having now. Because of the little guys in BP, if it was their choice whether to adhere to the safety standards or not, I promise you, they would have adhered to the fucking safety standards. Because it's now their asses that are on the line. It's their asses that are going to lose their jobs. Their asses that are going to get the flack for all this. Not the CEO of BP. What's the worst that's going to happen to that nigga? Be called irresponsible? Be called greedy? But what's really going to happen to his ass? He's going to retire. Eventually we will forget. He will retire to his private life, taking his millions of dollars with him. There are no real consequences waiting for that guy. There is no real accountability waiting for him, waiting for his compatriots. All of it is going to fall on the company, going to fall on BP. They're the ones whose stock is plummeting right now. And who is suffering as a result of the stock plummeting? Not him. The little guys, the stockholders, the employees. They're the ones who are fucked now. And that is a product of dictatorship. That's a product of dictatorial capitalism that we find in our workplace. We expect to live in a democratic society, us in the West, but we're willing to accept a dictatorship every time we fucking go to work? The situation in BP is not unique. It's with most American companies. Nike, Walmart, all the fucking JCPenney, Nordstrom, all of these corporations that practice the most evil, heinous, human rights, slavery, child labor policies all around the world. And who's making these decisions? Not the people who are being affected by it, the CEOs, who can very easily say, oh well, all this oversight and all this slavery was obviously a huge surprise to me. It's bullshit. It's a lot of bullshit. And the only reason that they want you to support a capitalist system is because anything other than that is the first step towards restricting the powers of corporations. And that's what they don't fucking want. They're tricking you into supporting a system that's fucking you. And because of inconveniences like the US Constitution, that's what they have to do, as opposed to just saying, work for us or we will shoot you. They have to come up with all new types of bullshit to trick you into working for something, to trick you into selling yourself into slavery, rather than just doing it by force. It's a sad situation. But again, people in the Ecuadorian Amazon are fucked today, up until this day. And to this day, their pleas fall on deaf ears. And the reason for that is because of a propaganda-fueled machine. There's only one thing that's going to change it. Only one thing that'll stand up to corporate power, corporate government. And that's fucking plain and simple revolution.